Imagine spending, I don't know, $50 on just one highly targeted Google ad click. I mean, a single click. It's perfect, right?
Right, because the user searches for your exact service.
Exactly. They read your compelling copy, they click the ad, they tap the button to call your business, and then what happens? The call just routes to some generic voicemail system.
Or it just rings on a desk phone in a completely empty office for like 2 full minutes before disconnecting.
Yes. And that entire marketing budget, all those hours of optimization, the brilliant copywriting, it all just evaporates into thin air in 15 seconds.
It's a phenomenal systemic failure. And to be honest, we see it happen thousands of times a day.
Right. Well, today we are looking at why the biggest, most expensive leaks in a business's growth trajectory aren't actually happening on their website. They're happening in the blind spots between their tools.
Yeah, businesses tend to treat their digital presence as a series of, disconnected silos.
Like having an ad budget over here, a website over there.
Exactly. And a phone system sitting in the corner. When in reality, modern commerce really demands an entirely closed-loop ecosystem.
Well, welcome back to another deep dive. Today, we are taking you inside the modern machinery of digital business growth.
It's a fascinating topic.
It really is. And our sources for this exploration are the service materials, case studies, and some blog excerpts from Digifix, which is a digital growth agency based down in Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, and reviewing these documents gives us a really stark look at how much the industry has matured. We're basically witnessing the death of the traditional vendor model and the rise of the strategic growth partner.
So our mission for you today is to strip away all those annoying industry buzzwords and look at what an integrated data-led growth strategy actually looks like.
Right, from the very first search to the final phone call.
Exactly. We are tracking that invisible thread connecting a late-night AI-driven search query to the raw data output of a desktop phone. Okay, let's unpack this.
Well, to really grasp the mechanics of what Digifix is doing here, we have to first look at the philosophy driving them.
The mindset shift, essentially.
Yeah, because historically, marketing agencies were highly transactional. I mean, pay them to launch a campaign, they launched it, and they just reported back on how many people saw it.
Right. But the source material here immediately draws a hard line between being what they call activity-driven and being results-driven.
And that distinction is huge. An activity-driven approach is essentially an obsession with vanity metrics.
Like the raw volume of impressions or how much traffic is hitting a homepage.
Or how many likes a random post
Yeah.
accumulated, yeah. Whereas a results-driven approach ignores all that noise.
It focuses strictly on leads, conversions, and your actual return on investment.
Exactly.
You know, it's funny. I look at working with an activity-driven agency, like hiring a personal trainer who only counts how many times you show up to the gym.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Right. Like I could just be sitting on my phone by the water cooler for an hour. The trainer says, well, you were active today. But a growth partner actually measures if you're getting stronger, if you're hitting your actual fitness goals.
What's fascinating here is why that mindset matters so much right now. We are living in a world of complete information overload.
Total saturation.
Yeah. Businesses don't need more random activity. They need sustainable growth at a cost that actually makes sense. And that requires making decisions based on real user behavior and campaign analytics.
Because if you just drive random activity without conversions, doesn't that actually hurt you?
Oh, absolutely. It actively degrades your future performance. Think about it. If an agency drives 10,000 low-quality clicks to your site and none of them buy anything, the machine learning models at Google or Meta take note of that.
Oh, wow. So they think your site is just bad.
They assume your site is completely irrelevant, which means they will actually charge you more for your next ad placement, or they'll just bury you further down in the organic search rankings.
Wait, really? So the activity-driven model is basically punishing the business?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's why businesses simply cannot afford to subsidize guesswork anymore. They need that drivetrain to transfer the power directly to the wheels.
Which requires a ton of data analysis. I noticed the Digifix sources highlight a structure built entirely around transparent reporting.
Right, the weekly and monthly reports.
Yeah, and ongoing collaborative meetings with the business owner. They aren't just setting a campaign live and walking away. They take ownership of those goals.
And that constant feedback loop is the core of the growth partner model. By constantly monitoring that data, They can adjust things in real time.
Okay, so if sustainable growth is the goal, the foundation of that is obviously getting found by the right people. But the rules of discovery are changing so fast.
The landscape is practically unrecognizable compared to even 5 years ago.
Right, and the sources detail their SEO services, search engine optimization. They break it down into technical SEO, content strategy, and a heavy focus on local SEO.
Which is incredibly important for service businesses.
Yeah, targeting suburb-based searches, near-me searches, optimizing the Google Business Profile. But there was one phrase that really stood out to me. They called it AI-aware SEO strategies.
Ah, yes. The AI factor.
Let me pause and challenge this concept for a second. Wait, search behavior is changing because of AI. Does this mean the old way of just stuffing keywords into a website is completely dead?
It's not just dead, it's actively penalized.
But how exactly do evolving content expectations and AI-influenced search experiences change the game for a local business? Like, how does a local roofer even compete if AI is just summarizing the internet?
It's probably the most pressing question in the industry today. To understand it, you have to look at the transition from lexical search to semantic search.
Lexical search, what's that?
So the old method, lexical search, was just mashing strings of text. If you typed in affordable roof repair, the algorithm just scoured the internet looking for web pages that contained that exact string of words.
Oh, which is why people used to hide keywords at the bottom of their websites in invisible text.
Exactly. It led to terrible, unreadable keyword stuffing. But today, search engines utilize incredibly complex AI to perform semantic search.
Meaning they actually understand what you're asking.
Yes, they aren't just looking for words anymore. They're looking for entities and relationships. They want to understand user intent-driven optimization.
So they are trying to answer the underlying question.
Right. If someone searches water leaking from ceiling at 2 in the morning, the AI understands the context. It knows the user is panicking and needs an emergency plumber right now.
They don't want a blog post about how to patch drywall.
No, they want a phone number for a plumber who is open 24/7 and serves their specific suburb. And that is where local SEO and your Google Business Profile become critical.
Because your digital presence has to be optimized for that context and immediate local relevance.
Precisely. Technical SEO ensures that the underlying code of your website communicates your exact location and operating hours in a language the AI instantly trusts.
Okay, so you adapt to AI, you get found organically, and you build that trust. But organic growth takes a while. What if you want to actively capture people who are ready to buy right now?
Yeah, it's where you have to pay for high-intent traffic.
Right, which brings up two interconnected services from the materials: Google Ads Management, the pay-per-click side, and custom website design and development.
And you really can't have one without the other.
Well, Digifix manages the full PPC process, right? Like keyword research, ad copywriting, conversion tracking, all to reduce wasted spend.
Yeah, they are buying highly specific data streams.
And then they send them to the custom website. They build these fast, responsive, secure sites with clean coding that they continuously maintain and optimize.
Because if you don't maintain it, the ad spend is useless.
Exactly. I kind of think about it like a party. Google Ads are the expensive VIP invitations you send out, but your custom website is the actual venue.
I love that analogy.
Right. If the invitations are amazing, printed on gold cardstock, but when the guests arrive, the venue is a total mess. The lights are off, the floors are sticky, the guests just turn around and leave.
And that early exit is what we call a bounce. And Google tracks that very closely.
Oh, they do?
Oh, yeah. Testing ads and refining your targeting only works if there is landing page alignment.
Landing page alignment, meaning the venue matches the invitation.
Exactly. Google uses a metric called quality score. If your ad promises emergency roof repair, but the user clicks and the website takes 5 seconds to load, or it's a generic page about residential siding, the user leaves immediately.
And Google sees that happening.
They do. And they lower your quality score, which means they start charging you significantly more money for the exact same ad click because you're giving their users a bad experience.
Wait, really? So having a slow website actually makes your ads more expensive?
Dramatically more expensive. That is why constant data-driven optimization of the website ensures those VIP invitations aren't just a wasted investment.
Wow. Okay, so we've got the ads and the site working together, but conversion isn't always just a click on a website, is it?
No, especially not for high-ticket services.
Right, like if I'm hiring someone to remodel my kitchen, I'm not just clicking add to cart. Often, it requires building trust through a community or actually having a direct conversation.
The human element is still the biggest variable.
Which brings us to some unseen layers of engagement. And honestly, the most surprising element in this digital agency's toolkit.
It's definitely a unique offering.
First, they touch on social media management. And they make it clear it's not just random posting, it's brand-aligned messaging, content planning, and community engagement.
Monitoring the comments, replying to direct messages, showing that the brand is actually alive and responsive.
Right. But then the materials pivot to Digifix's VoIP business phone system.
Voice over Internet Protocol.
Yeah, and they detail these specific, flexible pricing plans. There's a PA Wagey starter plan for $8 per user per month. There's an unlimited Australia plan for $19 a user, and an unlimited Australia Plus plan for $28 a month.
Highly competitive rates, actually.
Sure, but here's where it gets really interesting, and I have to push back a bit. Why on earth is a cutting-edge Melbourne digital marketing agency selling desk phones and VoIP plans with no lock-in contract?
That sounds totally out of place, doesn't it?
It really does. Isn't a phone system completely separate from web design and SEO? Like, that's an IT problem, not a marketing problem.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it is arguably the most brilliant strategic move they make.
Really? Selling phone plans?
Think about all the engineering we just talked about. The AI SEO, the quality scores, the custom web development, all of that is to generate a single high-intent lead.
Right.
But for most local service businesses, what is the ultimate goal of that lead? It's a phone call. The customer bypasses the web form, he just dials the number.
Okay, that makes sense.
But traditional phone systems, like the old PBX ones, with expensive line rental and rigid contracts, they are completely disconnected from the digital world.
They're just dumb pipes, basically.
Exactly. They generate zero usable marketing data. A modern VoIP system, on the other hand, works across desk phones, mobiles, and soft phones on your computer.
Right, it runs over the internet.
But most importantly, controlling the VoIP system gives the agency access to detailed reporting and team performance insights.
Oh, so a phone call is just another conversion metric.
Yes. By controlling the VoIP, the agency can see exactly which Google ad keyword made the phone ring. They can track how long the call lasted, who answered it, and what the hold time was.
So it perfectly closes the loop on the digital leads generated by their SEO and PPC efforts.
Exactly. If the agency is sending 100 calls a week, but the VoIP data shows the business is letting 50% of them go to voicemail, the agency can sit down and say, hey, our marketing is working perfectly, but your call handling processes need to be optimized.
Wow, they are literally digitizing the final mile of a customer journey.
They leave zero blind spots.
That is incredible. But tying all these complex tools together, from AI SEO algorithms to VoIP phone data packets, that requires an incredible amount of client education, doesn't it?
It's massive. A regular business owner can easily get overwhelmed by all this.
I mean, I'm getting overwhelmed just talking about it.
Right. They start drowning in jargon and just retreat back to their comfort zone.
Which is why the sources highlight that Digifix offers a free, no-obligation consultation to assess current challenges without any pressure.
Yes, to figure out where the actual leaks are first.
And they also show a huge commitment to education through their blog posts. They have articles like how to select a topic for your blog.
Very tactical, helpful stuff.
Yeah, and a comprehensive digital marketing glossary for beginners to help cut through all the jargon we've been using. Plus, a really interesting post on the key benefits of workflow automation for business efficiency.
And that last one is the key to how they manage all of this behind the scenes.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? If you're trying to grow a business today, what's the takeaway from all this complexity?
The takeaway is that the modern digital landscape will absolutely crush a business owner who tries to manage all this alone. You can't just be an expert in your own field and also an expert in semantic search and VoIP data routing.
It's too much.
The true value of a growth partner is synthesizing this complexity. They use workflow automation internally to connect all these tools, and they provide transparent insights externally.
So the business owner just gets a clean report.
Right. They just see the ROI. It frees them up so they can focus on their actual work.
Well, this has been an incredible look under the hood. To wrap up our deep dive today, I think the main thing to remember is that digital marketing is no longer just a set of isolated tactics.
Not at all.
You can't just buy an ad or make a random Facebook post and expect it to work. Instead, it is an interconnected ecosystem. Everything from the cleanliness of your website's code to the data output of your VoIP phone system has to work together to capture leads and drive sustainable ROI.
And as everything becomes more connected, It really leaves us with a fascinating scenario to ponder.
Oh, what's that?
Well, if business efficiency now means automating workflows and tying a VoIP phone system directly to digital ad performance, it raises an important question. Are we approaching a near future where the dividing line between a company's marketing department and its customer service desks completely disappears into one unified, data-driven system?
Wow. When you track a user from their first Google search down to the second they hang up the phone,
Yeah.
yeah, those departments really just become the exact same thing.
They do.
That is a wild thought to leave on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the source material. We hope this gave you a new perspective on how